We're spending all kinds of money on the military apparatus, on the spying apparatus, on the 737 bases outside the United States, on the F-22 fighter program, these big ticket programs that are of a great benefit to the contractors that give the money to the politicians, but they really don't benefit. In fact, the pilots, half the pilots have refused to fly the F-22 because it's so dangerous. And there have been warning signs all the way. The F-22 has been in production for many, many years, been debated for decades. And people have always put up warning signs about it, about the cost overruns, about the safety issues, and those have not gone away. I mean, all those warnings were completely spot on, and yet they were completely ignored because the system must feed the beast, and in this case the beast is the big contractors that are building this F-22, and there's a lot of them involved. You know, they try to feed a little bit of it to everybody, so they all have a stake in it, right? So you've got Northrop Grumman, you've got Boeing, you've got all these defense contractors have a piece of the action, and that's what I call feeding the beast.
And some would argue
it's not about, let me make one more point, it's not about security. It's not about legitimate defense. You know, it's about feeding the beast. And it's not about taking care of our troops, because all that money is going to the big contractors and their bottom line and their profits. They're not going to the soldiers and their families. They're not going to the VA. You know, that money is not all these.
What about back in Iraq when these mothers were having to buy flak jackets for their sons and daughters,
yes,
and shipping it over there because
yes,
the U.S. government wasn't buying flak jackets for them?
You'd be unafraid to take on the big corporations for people like me?
I'm-
Or the ordinary citizens?
I'm anxious to take on the big corporations for people like you. I'm dying to do it.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, I have taken on judges in immigration court. You know, you do it when you have to do it, and you do it when it's the right thing to do. And I have experience doing that kind of thing, so I think I am a good guy to go to Washington.
Do you think?
Issues. We need to reorganize our priorities. We need to ask ourselves if we still want to live in a system where property rights are more important than human rights. And that's the fundamental question. I mean, we place so much importance on the freedom to make $1 million, but it's okay to have the freedom for people to starve to death, and for people to have malnutrition, for people to have inadequate health care. All of that, those freedoms are okay, as long as we have this abstract freedom, you know, to become millionaires. We're willing to put up with all of this other stuff. It's crazy.
What are you going to do to help families who've been decimated by the banking crisis and foreclosures?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do about them? Because we bailed out the banks, and
Yes,
I know we averted a more serious recession, but there's still many families that are underwater, or whatever you want to call it. What are you going to do for them?
I think we should be bailing out people on Main Street, and not just the people on Wall Street. I mean, the people on Main Street did not cause the problem, and they should not have to bear the brunt of it alone. I think a lot of Democrats are very unhappy with the way things have gone. Of course, they'll vote for Obama, and I might vote for Obama myself, again, considering the alternatives. But he's been such a disappointment in terms of civil liberties and in terms of the Patriot Act. We all thought the Patriot Act was such an outrage when Bush and Cheney passed it, and yet now Obama's presiding over the Patriot Act. Everyone thinks it's okay to invade our civil liberties. I don't think it's okay. I think, largely because Obama's really working for the same people, for the same corporations and the same system.